I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Gabweeoxx to the show. Hi!
Hello. Hey. How's it going?
Going well, and I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Gabby, or Gab. I'm an Australian VTuber that plays a lot of Dead by Daylight and horror games, really, with a big personality. That's what I'm known as.
Oh my gosh, Dead by Daylight games. I watched people play that. I couldn't do it myself. I could not do it
Look,
myself.
it's not for the faint heart. You literally one of two ways to get it is you either have depression or you get depression after it.
That's right.
It's one of those things.
It's got 5 stars. You'll get depressed by doing this game.
Yeah, you'll get obsessed and you'll hate it and love it at the same time.
And then you'll have
It's
nightmares.
a very confusing game.
I would have nightmares. It's like, oh, I'm being hung on a hook again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one of the killers has a lullaby, and when I first started playing it, her song was all I heard when I was dreaming. It was terrifying.
Oh no. No, I'm not. I can't do the horror games.
No?
It's just too much for me. I'll stick with my safe Stardew Valley, and I'm fine.
Oh. I love that for you. See, I'm not very smart when it comes to games, so all I've really got is the horror games, so I don't have to think too much.
Well, what is the appeal for you, the horror games? Why do you like that genre?
I think because it's an element of you don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, you can kind of preempt it. I mean, I love like horror movies as well, so I kind of really get into it. But yeah, it's just you never know what's really going to happen. I feel like something's going to happen when I open up this cupboard door, but it didn't. Oh, when is it going to happen? I know, it's the suspense.
So is it? Would you rather have the quick jump scare type of horror or the long-term really damage your mind horror?
I think for, like a shorter game, the quick jump styles are probably good, but like you really want it suspenseful. You really want to be scared. You want to be fully submerged into the game. So longer games definitely make you think about it, make you wait for it.
Okay. Well, either one of them, especially if I'm playing a game and then suddenly get a cutscene jump scare like that, then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Shut it off and go to the next thing.
It can be like that. There are days where you're like, you know what? Maybe not today. Maybe I don't want any nightmares. I'll have to put on a Disney movie after or something.
Yes. I'll be back by Stardew Valley.
Yeah, exactly. I do that with The Sims. That's my relaxation game.
There you go. I'm going to go milk the cows. I'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go build a house or something. It's totally fine.
So how and why did you get started with the VTubing?
Oh, good question. So I reconnected with some friends from school. This is a long story short. I promise it won't be a very long-winded thing, but so I reconnected with some friends from school. We all had different consoles, like, Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and we were looking for games that we could all play together.
Yeah.
The first game we came across was Destiny 2, which is great for a short period of time, in my opinion. But it wasn't good for long periods of time. And then came across Dead by Daylight, and Dead by Daylight is very knowledge-based. So I wanted to get better at it because I really enjoyed it. So I didn't even know what Twitch was back then, which was about a year and a half ago now. And so I went onto Twitch just to, watch people play the game and learn a bit more about it, and got into a community of people that I would watch regularly, and they were like, wow, like, you're loud and hyper and annoying. You should probably do this too. So I gave it a go.
Wow. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're enjoying yourself with it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
really like the fact that I've met a lot of different types of people that,
Mm.
walking, going to work or, going to the store or something you wouldn't necessarily interact with in the same way.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a whole different animal when it comes to something like that. It's great that you're able to interact with people in other countries. You can interact with people who are standing upside down from you on the other side of the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I would have never have met.
Yeah.
I have so many American friends or friends from the UK, or I've met a lot of Scandinavians of late,
Oh,
because of Blue Sky.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just would never have had the opportunity to meet, so
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
Scandinavia would be about 12 hours difference from you, wouldn't it?
I
Oh,
have no idea. A few of
yeah.
them were trying to explain it to me yesterday,
Yeah.
and like I already have so many different time zones on my phone to try and remember where everyone's from.
Oh, yeah. Has that been a problem for you with the time zone difference?
Mm, to
Getting
in
audiences
what
and stuff?
respect?
Try to interact with
For the
audiences
audience?
and
No, well, because I mean that's why I guess I don't necessarily stream at the time people in my own country would be watching streams. Like I stream at 9 a.m. in the
mm,
morning,
mm,
whereas a lot of streamers will stream in the afternoons. But
yeah,
my viewer base is mainly Americans.
mm,
So it's about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening for them. So
yeah. Well,
it works.
well, folks over here, U.S. folks love Australians.
Yeah, as I'm always told. I think that's great.
Yeah, and even though you guys are almost an entire day ahead of us in some
Yeah, it's
instances.
funny. I try and we have in my Discord server we have like a birthday section
Mm.
and I'm constantly saying happy birthday like a day before. So now it's just an ongoing joke with everyone that it's like happy Australian birthday because I
Uh,
don't know where you're from.
it,
I can't
yeah.
keep up with everybody, so it's your Australian birthday. Whatever it is for you, you get two birthdays.
If you were here, this would be your birthday. That's what it would be.
Exactly, exactly. I'm celebrating for you.
Yeah, well, we had a situation here at I don't know if I told this story before, but my daughter was having her child, and it was on her birthday, amazingly
Oh
enough.
wow.
And we are right on the border of the Eastern and Central time zones. And she was in the Eastern time zone, and we're getting later in the day. And I said, let's get in the car and head over. We'll head over to the line. We'll get you another hour to have that kid.
Yeah. Oh my God. So,
Luckily, she didn't have to.
was it the same birthday?
It,
Oh,
it, it,
okay.
same birthday for the both of them. That makes it easier for us to remember.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The grandparents never forget the kids' birthdays. Um, yeah, that doesn't happen. So when you got started, was it a shock to the system for you, or was it real easy for you to turn on that microphone and talk with folks?
Oh gosh, no. I mean,
Mm,
I think a lot of it is like being a VTuber, I get the blessing of you don't get to see my facial expressions.
mm,
Um, which is great because I have resting bitch face. Don't know
mm.
if you're allowed to swear, but that's what I definitely do have
No,
sometimes.
we're 18 plus. Do what
Um,
you like.
Okay. But no, in terms of starting out, I'm actually kind of like a introverted person.
Uh-huh.
So it was hard to sort of be an energy or a personality or bring my personality out
Yeah,
at the start. But I was surrounded by a lot of good friends that helped
yeah,
along the way, which was nice.
that's cool. I mean, it's always good to
Yeah.
have that sort of support when you jump in. Some folks don't have that support, and it's really tough for them to get started
No,
with it. But
100%.
it's almost like a practice feedback in a way, because your friends aren't going to completely trash you.
No, no, no. But I
Not,
mean, I like to be honest with my community too. There are obviously going to be days where you're just not feeling 100%, and I don't necessarily want to let them down by not being there.
well,
So, if it's a lower energy stream, then that's okay. Everyone has stuff going on.
hey,
So,
I can tell you, you always have to give 50%, because that way, if you give 70%, by accident, they think you're giving 120%, and you still have
Yeah,
30. You have 30% left.
100%. Oh my gosh, yeah. You're not wrong there, actually. 100% not
It's
wrong.
it's the old Scotty on Star Trek thing. I cannot put any more in it, Captain. uh,
I love that reference. That was great.
the uh, the interaction with folks. You already had some folks that you knew coming in. Have you been able to reach out to streamers that you didn't know in the past?
Yeah, 100%. I
Mm-hmm.
think um introducing the raid out, or raiding out to new people, or um, you know, sometimes, okay, so when I first started, the whole thing was you would raid out to like a bigger streamer
Mm-hmm.
and meet them and their community and share and whatnot. Um, so that was really good. I got to meet a lot of them. But like you mentioned before, a lot of people don't have the support that I necessarily did when I first started. So I like, meeting the people that have a couple of viewers or may not be affiliate yet, or
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of concurrent viewers. So I'll raid into them and we can all hang out and see if we match each other's vibes. So um and I think they're the more important ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I
'Cause
want everybody to be successful, but I think, yeah, the biggest streamers sometimes forget that us little guys are what makes their bread and butter.
yeah,
So you got to focus on the community
yeah. And one thing
that you
too,
have.
I think is interesting, and I'm trying to figure this out still, and being an old radio guy that I am, and for us back in the day, we would compete against other radio stations for a
Hmm.
segment of a market. Um, I don't think it's quite gotten that way with VTubers yet, where they compete against each other for the same audience, because the audience is potentially so much bigger. You could draw in a lot more people that normally don't watch VTubers. Um,
Right.
it's a bigger audience yet. So you there's not really that competition of trying to elbow each other out for that one person. uh,
Well, yeah, I think it's hard because when you first start, I mean, I'm a researcher person, so everything I've done is, research, and I've learnt about and tried to better myself with. And I think the sort of there's a thought there that like it's always streamer against streamer,
mhm,
especially depending on what you stream on, how many people you have open is
mhm.
how many views, and the statistics of how many viewers you have and how many followers, that
Right,
stuff.
right, right.
Um, I think it's so easy to think that we're not that we put against each other.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't like to think that way. I like to think as soon as I meet a new person, it's always like a big family.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's
What?
the way it works for the most part. I think that
Yeah.
people can take a cue from watching how the corporate VTubers work in some way, not all the way, because that's a big mess over there. I mean, yeah, that's I would not want to
100%.
I wouldn't want to do that if I was young enough to do that. Um,
Hmm.
but they don't. If they really thought it was a pie that was being split up, then they wouldn't have two VTubers on at the same time. They
No,
wouldn't. Yeah,
that's right.
they wouldn't be fighting. They would have like basically a 24-hour channel with this person on this person on the and have it a regular schedule like you would a television show back when networks still meant anything, and
Hmm.
and that's how they would program it. The fact that they'll have two people on at the same time with 1,500 people watching on both of them, they don't seem to matter with that. So if someone's coming on with 20 or 30 people, why should they try to be competing with somebody else? That,
No,
it
yeah, no.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't even think you can even compete. I mean, like everybody's going to look different with their character, be a
Hmm.
different color, wear something different,
Hmm.
have a different movement. to, the
Oh,
next person.
yeah.
And that doesn't even match what their personality is,
Mhm.
or how long they stream for, or when they stream for, or what
Yeah.
game they stream, or what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You can't compare.
It really is. And the chance that we get now is I'll put myself in the viewer category. The chance that the viewers
Hmm.
get to see so many different talents and people and personalities, um, that doesn't add up to a competition either. Because one day I might want to watch somebody who's playing a certain type of game Sunday, or if I get to be a subscriber to Gabweeoxx, and I would certainly suggest everybody do that. There's your
Thank you,
plug.
thank you.
And I watch every day. It's not going to be for the game. It's going to be for you. Um,
Right.
and there's different types of watching, and I don't know. The sooner or later, marketing is going to make it an appearance, and I think it'll be interesting to see how people do that successfully.
Right. I agree.
Wow.
I think I think even, being a streamer or a VTuber as well, you already market yourself like with the content that you create,
Hmm.
how and when and where and what you do. Um, but I think there's a lot more to come. I feel like we're still in our YouTuber era.
Hmm.
Like everyone vlogs, and you can sit down for 20 minutes if you want, or you can watch a TikTok real
Yeah.
quick reel of what their day's like.
Yeah.
Where I don't think we've quite moved over to how to market streaming properly. I mean, some people do. I follow a lot of people who, break down how they make money
Hmm.
being a content creator. And um, one, I have to say, I love that they're so transparent. I
Hmm.
love having all the information.
Yeah.
Um, but even, yeah, even seeing how much like views they get on stream compared to their other content, it's very interesting. It definitely is like streaming is definitely, a vessel
Hmm.
to create content from,
Yeah. And it's
if that
still,
makes sense.
as you said, it's still very new, and there's still a lot of things that
Yeah.
people are able to do. I mean, you can watch the cooking streams, you can watch a singing stream, you can watch a someone doing I interviewed someone the other day who does um, talks about microbiology online.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could
I
learn a
think
lot
that's
of things.
great.
It's just really cool. So now the pressure's on you. What are you going to bring to the table?
Oh, good question.
I
Um,
throw it at you now.
hmm. You know, I think it's hard to answer that question because still every day, like, how is it not just me and three friends
Yeah,
playing a game? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, but I think, every day is getting towards understanding what could be more. So I don't have an answer yet. I
Mm-hmm.
do have some ideas coming for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't reveal it just yet. Can't secret.
But that's what I'm in the
But things are
media.
coming.
You have to tell me.
Things are coming. I
Yeah,
think I've learned, like you mentioned, VTubers maybe feeling like they are competitive to
right.
one another, but I have definitely learned a lot from, my fellow VTubers that I am also, a watcher of.
Yeah,
And it's only made me a better streamer and a viewer and a person. So yeah, I think there's things coming. It'll
yeah.
be good.
Well,
Watch this space.
but right now, it must be doing pretty well for you because you sound like you're enjoying it quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you can't do something unless you enjoy it.
Mm.
It's not my 9 to 5. This is my hobby,
Mm-hmm.
something that I get to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't do it. If you
No.
do it for money or do it for fame or do it for attention.
That being said, if somebody gives you $1 million check, you're not going to turn it down.
No, look, no, 100%. No, 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 no. But, I mean, the likelihood of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least
You learn as much as you can,
I mean,
take your time, and
I could
enjoy
write you
it.
a check for $1 million, but as long as you never cash it, it's going to be perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
just can't cash it. 100%. It's monopoly money.
That's
Hey,
right. Oh
that's what
yeah.
that's what
Oh
it's
yeah.
for.
Hey, I had somebody break into my account the other day, and their credit rating went down. So that'll tell you something. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yes,
Honestly felt.
and mine went up. Somebody took interest in you, and now you're
Hey,
double.
well, look, someone benefited out of it, I guess.
Yes,
Gotta think of the positive for those situations.
that's right. So, with the audience that you've got right now, and how you've progressed, are you happy where you are now, or is this where you wanted to be with the channel?
Oh, another good question. Um, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is not no at
Mm-hmm.
all. Again, I think it's more just I didn't really think anything would happen. Like every time, someone hangs with me, and at the end of the stream, I go, "All right, guys, we're gonna raid out to this person," and people are like, "All right, well, we'll see you Monday."
Mm-hmm.
It's always like, "Oh, like I'm not just sitting here talking to myself." But yeah, of course, I think I still have a lot of growing to do, and a lot. I would I would like it to be more, but I would like to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you enjoy
So,
it while you got it.
oh yeah.
It's the biggest thing, obviously with people coming back um, over and over again, they're enjoying it. Um,
Yeah.
has that hit you yet? Where you realize that people are coming back to be with you, no matter what you're doing.
No, no, definitely not. No, to me, I'm just loud, annoying, and weird. Um, which I think is great. I always say to people, if you don't think you're weird, you just don't know, because everybody is some level of weird.
Oh yeah.
Um,
If you weren't, that would
but
be
yeah,
weird.
no, 100%.
If you
As
wouldn't,
someone who has been very like all my life, I've worked very hard, and on my days off, I've gone to the gym or cleaned my house, and there has been very little time for a hobby.
mm,
Um, to then go into something that takes a lot of effort to do this.
mm,
Um, Not that it's, hard
right.
in, the there's people out there that are saving people's lives and whatnot, so it's not even in the same category.
Yeah,
But
it's not rocket surgery.
it's a lot of time. Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot. It's a lot of time and effort
Yeah,
to be put into it.
yeah,
But it's well worth it,
yeah,
and
and,
it's learning. It's exciting. It's different. I didn't even know what um a streaming program was.
yeah,
I didn't know how to edit TikTok.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's when you start dipping your toes into it, and you get more and more caught up in it. Um,
Yeah.
and it's still fascinating. It sounds like you still got the fascinating part that you're
Oh,
going
look,
through yet.
I'm in compared to what like how long I've been in the industry, and what I've already done. I'm a baby. I'm still very much a baby, very new,
Yeah.
still have so much to learn, but
Mm,
it is still very fascinating.
yeah. Well,
If there was just someone with like a dictionary of like how-tos,
yes.
like there is how-tos out there, but like,
Yeah.
like a get rich quick scheme without the richness, just
Yes.
the knowledgeness, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. That would that
That
would
would be great, but
that
there's
would
no
be
book of
great.
life,
Well, if
so
somebody had that, they would get rich.
exactly, yeah,
S-
probably.
Sell that
There's
thing.
probably Iron Mouse. Is
Yes.
that the
Oh
top
well.
VTuber? Is that
Yeah.
her name?
And yes, Iron Mouse. And there's a story.
Yes.
There's a story. There's a lot of stories as to how she's not only made it, but inspired a lot of other people to as well. A lot of that's going to fall on her when it's all said and done. But
Oh, 100%.
yeah, well, with it, I mean, you talk about you mentioned being a researcher, and
Hmm.
and I'm not going to press into what exactly that is, but I imagine that takes a lot of stead, STAID, stead time, where you're not so much enjoying yourself as just doing it to do it. Um,
Yeah.
and then you get to turn around and open the microphone and free flow.
Yeah.
The difference must be like opening a can of soda or something. Just and let all that out. Is that how it feels for you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially when something, I mean, it's always hard when you spend so much time on something and it doesn't perform well.
Hmm.
It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just it needs to be better. Sometimes it's, wrong place, wrong time.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's important to have stuff not succeed.
Hmm.
But in terms of working and then putting it out, I mean, it's weird too because I feel like if you're not in the space, you don't know how much time goes in before you even hit the button.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been recently trying to get into creating my own overlays, which I know like pretty much every VTuber does. They
Hmm.
create their own VTuber, they do their own emotes. Everyone is far more talented than I.
Oh, wow.
But I have been recently trying to get into,
Don't
and
don't
you
poor
know,
boy yourself here. I mean, you, you, you that's up that I do that. That's my shtick.
yeah, but it's so fascinating. Like to me, I would never have thought, this step plus this step equals that, and
Yeah.
oh, that doesn't look good. Let's go back a step and add. Anyway, the process is interesting.
Yeah.
But what is really nice is when, even just one person that's like, oh, you've got a different starting soon screen or something, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, yeah, I do. Like it's a little hee hee, like
Yeah.
little girl moment, and I'm like, oh my God, someone noticed. You know?
Just kind of stomp your feet. Yay!
Yeah, and you know what? It'll be like, let's say there's 8 people that say, that's not for me, and that's fine.
Hmm.
But there's the one person that goes, yeah, that's really nice, and you're like, yeah, I did it.
Yes, I win.
That's all we need. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Someone agrees with me. Win.
And then you start wondering about them. What kind of person
Yeah,
are
like,
you?
oh, what's wrong with you? What's happening? Why do you agree with me?
Well, I can tell you this: you've got an incredible voice for this. It's some folks are able to get away with their voices that are very um, have a lot of sharp edges. Yours does not. Yeah, and be able to project with it. Have you thought about doing some voice work?
Hmm. It's funny. My best friend does voice work.
Hmm.
No, yes, not until recently. Um, would anything ever happen? Probably not. I think that's just another avenue. It's all one big web, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just another little line of the web that you would have to go down and research, and
Yeah.
the answer's never no. The
Yeah.
answer's never no. But
Yeah.
yeah, not until recently because yeah, I mean, I going back to Lee, um I didn't know who she was
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Um I'm like I said, I'm more of a support guy.
Right.
Guys, bad reason who I um and yeah, I recently in fact um
We're starting to lose your audio there.
oh,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
I'm gonna pause it just a little bit here because we're starting to get like every other word. I don't know what the thing is,
Mm.
so I'm gonna mark that down for edit later. We'll see if we can get that up and going a little bit. So this is in between this. Right now we're recording, but we're not recording.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Um,
Understood.
yeah, because we were getting like every other word there, and
Yeah, my Discord does not like me. I do apologize.
yeah, well, that was just fine right there. So let's start again, see if it works out. Um, coming in 3, 2, 1. So using your voice that way just hasn't come up yet, and it will take a little bit of work, but you never know. I mean, people are looking for especially female voices that can do and are very that project but don't irritate. You have one of those voices.
Oh, I'm glad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I honestly would be a little bit heartbroken if I had an irritating. But look, yeah, never say never. To me, when I edit though, I hate my voice. I don't know if anyone ever gets over that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
I
the
was
same
even
way.
thinking about how am I going to listen to this podcast once you do your thing, and I'm like I'm just gonna have to not listen to me and just
Oh,
listen to what you say the
oh.
entire time.
Oh, but you already heard what I said.
I know, it's just
Well,
but I think
for,
it's natural.
yeah, but for some people that doesn't ever change. I mean, I can listen to myself. I did radio for so long. I mean, a long time. And after a year, like 30, you're so used to hearing your voice. That's,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's not the same voice, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
how how you hear yourself when you speak
Mm.
is different to how you sound when you even just a little bit of a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Like I started doing a different style of TikTok
Mm,
a couple of months ago, and my voice is pre um and yeah, it's definitely takes some getting used.
yeah. It's to the point where sometimes and if somebody, if somebody is young enough when they start, that their voice changes a little bit. um,
That's true.
yeah, that could make a difference. I really started radio when I was 18,
Right.
and 100 million years ago, and
When
and I
the
was
dinosaurs were here, what?
yeah, the dinosaurs were here. Computers? No, calculators. That's what we had. Uh, and
Yeah.
it was we didn't have it back in 1984. It wasn't quite there yet. But
I
we
still love to think about, my teachers at school used to tell me, you're not going to have a calculator at your beck and call when
yeah
you grow up and get a job. And it's like, well, there's one on my phone, and that's on me 24/7.
yeah and
So
yeah
you were
people now
wrong.
have it on their watch. They don't
Yeah.
even.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm like, gee, me Christmas. But it's well, I can tell you this right now. Me talking to you in 1984 would have cost $1 million, especially for this long because of the charges, the long distance charges, and
Right,
it would have
exactly.
sounded like me screaming into a tin can full of beans. It would have been just terrible. I mean, I still sound like I'm yelling into a tin can full of beans, but at least the connection is good.
Well, I mean, my brain literally went to Morse code, so,
Morse code. Oh, we had smoke
Yeah, I was
signals.
like, I don't even know what the 80s were like, so.
Oh, it was. You know, people. We actually spun discs back then, 45 RPM records and that type of thing.
Yeah,
We're
that's so fascinating.
back in the way old days. We just
Yeah,
hit two rocks
back in
together.
my day.
back, back in my day. This is still my day, young person.
Hey, I'm not that young,
Compared to me, just
but
about
still.
everybody is. So, uh,
Oh,
but the fact that I enjoy that you're enjoying yourself here, and
yeah.
you've got a good head about what you want to do, and you got a good idea. If I was to say, ask you, what's your pie in the sky ambition for this channel, what would it be?
Mm, I mean, I don't think the message would ever change. I
Mm-hmm.
think it would always be a place that is positive, safe place. Um, just it's hard because it's always going to be the same cringe answer. A safe, friendly, funny, weird place for everyone. Doesn't
and
matter.
you know what? Who cares if it's cringe?
Yeah. It's always been the same cringe answer. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
At
that's
least you
perfect.
know it's authentic.
But that's it. It's authentic, and that's what matters. It's only cringe if it isn't authentic.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine anybody not enjoying spending time with you here, because I
I
certainly have
appreciate
enjoyed
that.
myself. And
No, it's been a ball. Thank you.
and I thank you so much for coming on. We'll do it again. Get some stuff going on. Let me know. Keep me in touch,
Yeah,
and we'll have
of
all
course.
of the links we've been able to find on the description for the interview. Gabs, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.